Nothing ruins my day more than a bad lunch. Sometimes you'll want a quick local meal, and sometimes you'll want a more upscale restaurant. In today's video, I'll show you some tricks to finding the right restaurant for the day. I know a lot of people enjoy exploring new foods while they travel and like to eat street food. But Nepal is not a good place for street food. Please do not eat anything served on the street. You'll notice most Nepali will eat lunch after 1 p.m., so don't expect it to be very busy before that. But it's normal for restaurants to only have 1 to 3 tables busy in the afternoon at any one time. They tend to be much busier at night, especially Friday nights. If you'd like a quick and cheap buff Momo, you can try the local Momo restaurant. You can see the big steamer for the Momo outside. How to find one? Look for the roll-up aluminum door and make sure it's busy with lots of local people eating. Many of these restaurants are so popular, they're always busy. Note that these restaurants often do not have running water or a toilet. You'll see someone washing the dishes outside on the ground. So, although very cheap and delicious, they aren't always safe for tourists. Next up from the ridiculously cheap, you can find a restaurant that has a good door. You may see the sign and the menu in Nepalese, so you can find someone to help you, or you can ask for chapsi, momo, or chow mein. If you're really hungry, you can order a Tali dish that the local people eat. If you order the Tali set, they'll bring more rice and vegetables, but not more meat. Next are the more upscale specialty restaurants such as Chinese or Korean restaurants. I even found a couple of Mexican restaurants that I like to eat at. I was surprised at the prices at Chinese restaurants because they tend to be much less expensive in the U.S. than most other restaurants. Tamil has many more upscale restaurants, and they are geared toward tourists, so they'll be a bit more expensive. But you'll be more likely to be served at the same time as your friends. No matter which type of restaurant you choose, if your meal comes first, it's best to start eating. Otherwise, it could get cold before everyone else gets theirs. So just make a rule that it's okay to start eating, even if you're the first one to get served. One of the most popular restaurants in Kathmandu area is the fried chicken establishments, such as the Burger House and Fried Chicken, Kathmandu Fried Chicken, Chicken Station, KKFC, or Rooster's Fried Chicken. You'll recognize these because they look very modern and clean. The signage and menus are only in English, and they'll have a few more Western dishes too. Kathmandu have several themed restaurants. You'll find them to be decorated very nicely with wall art and religious decorations. These restaurants tend to have excellent food and pretty good prices. Tamil and restaurants that are near temple sites, anywhere you'd expect to find more tourists, will be a bit more pricey as well. But you aren't likely to pay more than $5 for a vegetarian meal and maybe up to $7 or $8 for a meal with meat, just about anywhere. Guest houses will have some excellent restaurants depending on the quality of the overall establishment. If the rooms are like only 500 rupee a night, for example, the restaurant will reflect that. But you don't have to stay at a hotel in order to eat at the restaurant, so these can be very nice and a bit pricey if you go out of your budget. Now for my best tip. Find a good private hospital. Unlike the reputation of hospital food in the rest of the world, you can find fast service, great prices, and a clean environment at most hospital canteens. The menu options will be similar to most local restaurants with some typical Western selections as well. If you have a peanut allergy, be very careful. Most restaurants cook with peanuts in things like biryani or as a snack item and will not clean the cookware properly to prevent cross-contamination. If you can't handle spicy food, you'll need to talk with the waiter about your order not being too spicy. Sometimes they think a little spicy will mean a little spicy for their palate. And ali ali means just a little bit, but it means a completely different thing to the Nepalese. However, don't let them omit the spice or you won't like that either. There's no reason to tip. There isn't the culture of tipping, so the wait staff won't expect it and they'll wonder why you don't want your change. It can get a little bit awkward. Be very careful about taking the rest of your meal home with you, especially during the hotter months. The bacteria can grow very fast and you probably don't have time for getting the Kathmandu quick step. Although you won't usually get a refund on a meal you didn't like, don't eat it if the middle of the food isn't hot when it's served. There can be a lot of ways the food can be contaminated. There are lots of differences from your home country here, so be sure to subscribe if you're planning a trip to Nepal. We provide lots of tips to keep you safe and having a good time and not wasting your money. See you next time.